Hey gang, this is DJ with another video on Power Aura setup for World of Warcraft. In this video we're going to take a look at setting up the Fury bar in a better way. I have basically covered up the Fury bar that's presented by the game, and you really don't look up here in the corner. So like my Paladin, where I've got my holy power surrounding him in a circle radially around it, that makes it really easy to take in that information peripherally, if I'm pronouncing that right. So let's take a look at how to set that up. I've done a little prep work ahead. I'll kind of step you through it. Basically the idea is I want to take the Fury bar, and my Paladin one has 5, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to make this one symmetrical, so I want it to start at the bottom and just grow out in both ways, and when it's come all the way 360, it's full. Now, I made one error in it. I don't really care. That's fine. I thought Fury went up to 130. It's 120. I'm new to Demon Hunter, so it won't all the way close the gap. That's fine. That doesn't matter. So let's take a look at the basics. So starting, I went into Photoshop and screenshot the power bar. I made these other little highlight things. And then it's really low res, so I up-resed it and blurred it, and then in 3D Studio Max developed these textures with rendering, and I'll show you how I did that real quickly. You don't really need to know. I mean, learning 3D Studio Max is a little out of scope for this, but I am a video game developer, so this is sort of my day job, is doing this kind of stuff. But basically I started with I put down a rectangle here that is 1024 by 1024. That is the dimensions I want to render this as. I set up an orthographic camera in here that has got its orthographic projection checkbox checked, so you just see like downrange. There's no perspective diminishment. And then from there, I basically just made a plane in the scene that is, yay long and just randomly big. And I applied the TGA as a texture, so now that energy bar is over this whole thing. And then I applied a bend modifier, told it to go. Oops, there we go. 360 degrees on the x-axis. That's basically it. So it's basically just if you start at 0 and you apply the bend modifier, you just do that until it turns into a circle. So great, now we've got the whole thing as a circle. Now I need to render like a little thing that comes up the sides. So to do that, there is a primitive in 3D Studio Max called a tube. So I went to creation, standard primitives, tube. That's fine, I'm on that layer. Oh, whatever. It's putting me in the wrong stuff. There we go. Sorry. Okay, so a tube, you can give it an inner and an outer radius and a depth, and then you can tell it to slice. So that's basically the trick, is I'm taking this guy, I'm rotating it so it starts at the bottom. So now I've got a thing that can can fill up, and then I duplicate it to be essentially the mirror of itself. Now it's actually, it's kind of offset in space, but since this is an orthographic camera, that perspective that can't be seen at all. You just see the front edge of it. Okay, so did I do that right? Yeah, so I made them an instance of one another, so if I crank this up, so basically I just duplicated that and then a bunch of times and just did the math in a, let's see if I got that text document up. So I did the math, sorry. Bring up the right doc. So we want it to communicate, we want it to essentially go up by increments of 10, and by the time it gets to 130, be all the way at the top. So that's 180 degrees is the number that you put in here. Where'd it go? Sorry. So when it gets up to 180, then it's filled up. But I want it to go in 13 steps. So I did the math. If you divide 180 by 13, it is this much, and if you just increment it, that represents each of these, you know, tens of fury. Anyway, a little obscure. So basically, I just duped it a bunch of times, gave each set their own layer, and just incremented their slice that number. Then I rendered each one of those layer sets out, and so I have these series of images now that are the sort of growing alpha channel. All right, so from there, I've got them all named already. Let's, I did, so that's most of the heavy lifting. So let's just do the last little leg of this before we go back over to World of Warcraft. So we're going to take each one of these, copy it into its alpha channel. I'm using hotkeys to make this go faster. This is what game dev is like. clicking a button over and over again. Okay, I'm going to set each one of these quickly back to the RGB layer. I'm going to copy this, and I made this a little thicker, the alpha channel than this, so we're going to get a little nice black line around it. Okay, so now I'm going to paste this into every one of them. I'm going to hit F2, which I've set up using an action as flatten. So Control V, F2. Save each one of them. Didn't flatten that one. Okay, so here they are. They don't look like they all quite took. Did they save? Let me close and open. Oh, 10 looks like it worked. Let me close and reopen that one. Do I have my hotkey thing running? Now let's just close and it'll ask me if it's not saved yet. Okay, there they all are. We don't need the full color one. Oh, okay, so my little hotkey thing's going. All right, so we are going to take all of these. Let's paste them into the World of Warcraft folder. I have 5 instances of WoW up. Let me close them all. I'm going to relaunch so all these images are. I'm 5-boxing right now, so it's going to launch 5 instances of WoW and log in for me. Give that a moment. Oh, it's messing up. If it doesn't get the name right, let me kill that operation. I'll just log in the normal way. Okay. Alrighty. Now let's set it up. Okay, good. Fury things are doing their job. Oh, except for that one. I don't know why. Okay, so let's begin. We want to load these guys up depending on how much fury I have. So let's just start it in a new section. Guri. Let's read Fury. Okay, good. Alright. So I'm just going to go totally from scratch. New. There it is. Let's get the right texture immediately. I'm going to go copy the name of the first one. There we are. Let me actually start with the 181, which is Fury Circle 130, so I can kind of size it, right? Test all. So I might have to move around. I won't do that in this video, but I might have to move around where my buffs present if this overlaps. Sometimes I'll have it kind of go around, you know, move critical strike and damage over. Alright, so let's make this bigger. Bigger, bigger, bigger. That's big. Okay, so I kind of want it like cutting, you know, I want it not interrupting things as much as possible. It's interrupting my interruptions, but my fury is not often going to get that high. So let's go a little smaller. A little lower. Alright, that feels good to me. I'll probably move down. I don't know. Maybe this is fine, having it just sort of behind my buff things. Okay, so now let's go. We're going to switch the activation from buff to rage energy power. And we will set... Normally with these, you could set a number like from 1 to 5. We might need to subtract the alpha of one out from the next, so they just kind of accumulate together rather than. Well, you know, they're 100% alpha now. If I probably don't want them that opaque. Or 85%. Okay, let's do something like that. Yeah, great. 50. Let's start with 60. Okay. Alright, now I've got the size that I like, so let's switch it to the first of these. And Oh, this is a percent. Oh, rage. Let's change it to fury. Okay, good. Oh, that's why I got confused. This number only goes up to 120. Maybe there's some items or something that takes up to 130. Whatever. Okay, so if it is, let's do that. So we'll set it to 10. So hopefully that means if, okay, so it's 14, so I don't have it. Let's spend some fury. Let's see if I can get it down under. Okay, it disappeared. It went over. Okay, so that means under that number it shows up. So that is correct. Let's copy it. Edit it. Let's see if you can just text edit this number. 2020. Pile up. We could subtract out the previous one from each consecutive one, but I don't know, maybe having a little tiny subtle like that's where it changes could be useful. Alright, let's keep going. Did I change the, yeah, I changed the 20. Alright, so let's just do this a bunch of times. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, oops. 4, 5, 6, 7, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. Okay. That's a lot of fill. Could make these additive, that would be cheaper. Whatever. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so 30. Graphics cards, they're good at this kind of thing these days. And I have an RTX card, so this should not be a problem. WoW is not very graphics heavy. 50, 60. Here's 80. $10. Almost there. Oops. 420. $20 and 130. Okay.
I need to get closer.
That's not quite right. I don't want it to be a circle the whole time. Do I have the logic inverted? Let me see. Let's suppress all of them, but kind of middle number. So there's 80. So let's examine that one and when it is on and when it is off. We want it to when we're 80 or over 80, I don't know, whatever, to be there. We don't want it to be there if it's under 80. So let's invert the logic and see if that is what we want. Okay, so right now we have none. It is not there. That is correct. So let's just spam Demon's Bite, 70, 80. Now it shows up. Okay, so we need to invert all of these. Okay, while we're in here too, in combat should be on all of these. So let's just do that. Okay. Let's see if that works. Okay, I am maxed out now. Let's spend all of my mana. Okay, we don't want any of this animation on. Let's turn that off. Animation. None. I wish you could select a bunch. You can't. One at a time. And I'm going to be a little absurd, and the last one, I am going to tell it to pulse. Pulse, to me, is the communication to do something. There's something you should be doing that you have not done. So if you get to full fury, you probably should not get to full fury. So since I only go to 120, I'm going to make this last one. I'll never hit 130. I'm going to make this guy pulse 2. So it's going to give me a little double thing. So let's just stay, you have to start spending it if you get that high. And I haven't turned them all back on yet. Alright, here we go. Okay, there, I'm topped off. Spend those suckers. Okay. I'm tempted to do a label version of it to put the number next to every one of them, so it kind of communicates where they are. Yeah, how much it is, because this is a little arbitrary. Edit. So we're going to switch this guy from a custom texture to a text aura. We're going to... Wait, hold on, which one? No. Oh, this is the text aura copy of that. Okay. I'm going to... It's going to confuse me to have these all here, so let's do this. Let's just make a new blank one that is just off to be kind of a little gap there. Okay, let's make this a text aura. 10, 100%. Oh crap, I just did that on the wrong size. Okay, 278 is what this size is supposed to be. Wrong button. Okay. This guy a little smaller. I don't know why it's so tall. Let's take a path. Just subtle communication. 25%, that works. Change the size. Let's just make them 75. Nice round numbers. Size. Okay. Skip head maybe. This is the boring part. 30. Move it over. Move it up. Copy. Show it. Show it. 40. Move it over. Okay, so 20 is there. 30 is there. Okay, did I get the wrong? Is 40 incorrect? Okay, it is. Interesting. All right, I'll fix that off to the side. I won't below your time on it. It's just kind of vaguely. Oopsie. Eyeball it. Close enough. 50. Wait a second. That's 50 there. Okay. All right, 60. Oops, shit. Hey. Stop, power aura. There's a bug, I guess. That's not supposed to happen. Okay, let's copy and paste numbers over. Negative 64. Yeah, be careful clicking on that green stuff. It lets you hand move things. What is going on? I'm in a weird state now. Okay. Let me relaunch just in case. Six. Excellent. Shoot, wrong one. 70. I guess it doesn't need to go over anymore. Ah, shoot. Did it again. Okay, here we go. 80. And we'll just stop. We don't need to go all the way up. You're rarely going to get that high. Okay. And 100. So we could continue into the next page. Maybe I will, because I'm OCD like that. Let's preview it. Called Fury 2. Okay. 10. This one isn't quite as meaningful because it's pulsing around, but let's do it. Okay. Up. Over. Let's make this one pulse 2. It's the angry one. Don't be at 120. Use your abilities. Don't get that high. Maybe static text or is, I don't know. Don't pulse. Okay. See how we like it. We're already at 20. I didn't set the thresholds on all these. Let's do that real quick. Okay. So they should activate by the same conditions. So this one, 20. So I don't want them all there all the time. Just kind of communicating what the biggest one is. 40, 30, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, accumulation. That'll grow my... It's kind of cool. You can kind of see how emulation is growing it. Okay, so these bars... Uh-oh. Yeah, something's unhappy under the hood, so I'll have to clean that up. But that's the basics. I like that. Maybe I'll kill the numbers. I don't know if the errors are for that. Those are kind of unnecessary. I could just have them static and not on conditions. But there we go. I think that's a nice way to present it. Might raise it up a little bit. It feels a little low to me. It's a little close to the low button bar. And it feels a little shifted. It should be that like this is the midpoint of the whole thing. It feels a little right of it, maybe because the numbers are skewing it. But anyway, so that's how to do that. Here is my setup on presenting Fury radially around your character. This is DJ. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.